am what I am, and I'm not ashamed. These words from Harry Potter have always stayed with me, reminding me of the power of embracing who I am, something I've often struggled with in a society dominated by standards. In a world filled with filters, endless comparisons, and constant judgment, self doubt creeps in, telling us we're not good enough for society's and social media's ridiculous standards. Today, I want to talk about how this happens and what we can do to rise above it. Social media has become a dominant form of communication today, used to share ideas, images, and even lifestyles. And when we scroll through our social media feeds, we're bombarded with images of perfect bodies, successful careers, and enviable lifestyles. These highlight reels, designed to showcase the best moments, often lead us down a rabbit hole of comparison. We see a friend traveling to an exotic destination and suddenly feel like we're stuck in our mundane routines that seem to be nothing like the ones we see in these reels. Haven't we all felt envy or even sadness when comparing our lives to those we see online? I know I have, and I'm sure many others have as well. This constant train of thought and comparison creates a toxic environment where we measure our lives against the achievements of others. We begin to internalize the belief that we're not doing enough, not achieving enough, or simply not enough. Turns out, however, that social media isn't the only toxic source of comparison and judgment for us. It might seem shocking to realize, but our loved ones, the ones that we thought would accept us no matter what, can also impose impossible standards and judge us for our flaws. Let's take an example. We've had so many situations where our relatives have asked us questions about the grades we get, the extracurricular successes we have, and our overall achievements as well. And apart from the student side, I'm sure that the adults can relate that when our relatives see them, they're always questioned about their annual income or career success. Slowly but surely, the prolonged questions leads us to doubt who we are and what we do as individuals. The fear of judgment can be paralyzing, especially when we worry about how others will react to our flaws. Society pushes us to be perfect, where even the smallest imperfection feels glaring. And this is no joke. Let me share a personal story. Not long ago, I faced a challenge that shook me deeply: hair loss due to a health condition. Each time I looked in the mirror, I felt like I was confronting society's impossible standards. I questioned my worth, but then I realized that the issue wasn't my reflection, it was the unrealistic standards that I had internalized. And I know I'm not alone. A friend once told me about her struggles with perfectionism. Despite being a top student and excelling in extracurriculars, she was terrified of making small mistakes. It took her time to realize that society's obsession with perfection made her fear imperfection. The consequences of self doubt are profound. It stifles our creativity. Take, for example, the story of ballet dancer Gelsey Kirkland. Despite having the natural talents and the grace of a ballerina, her fear of imperfection made her nearly quit her career and ruin her creative mind. Another consequence is that it hinders personal growth. President Winston Churchill once said, "Perfection is the enemy of progress." These words hold true to this very day. How many times have we shied away from a challenge just because we feel inadequate? Relationships with loved ones strained, and unique opportunities missed. What more can self doubt steal from us? As we suppress ourselves with these unrealistic standards, we cultivate a fake it till you make it attitude, wearing a facade of filters and illusions. This constant battle with judgment leads to feelings of isolation, anxiety, and ultimately the fear of being seen for who we truly are. And amidst this chaos, we risk becoming spectators of our own lives, trapped in a cycle of negativity. And despite all those consequences, we brush them away and continue seeking validation from another source. It's a vicious cycle. Self doubt leads us to seek validation online, yet the validation we find is often fleeting and unsatisfying, leaving us emptier than before. Altogether, comparisons, judgment, and continuous self doubt weigh us down, isolating us from the joyous world we live in. However, this isn't something that has to continue for too long. I strongly believe that we can reclaim our confidence, and there are countless ways to do so. For starters, you could control your online environment by following accounts that reciprocate the positivity and authenticity you seek. And when you're confronted by a message or image that promotes a negative thought, the best choice would be to simply unfollow that account. But even if these measures prove ineffective, taking the time to just step outside for a walk or to just spend time with nature can surprisingly have a profound effect on your morale and mental state, improving it with time. And if you ever face a situation where you can't contain your struggles within yourself, grab any notebook or diary to vent out your thoughts. It might seem quite cliche at first. However, getting the thoughts of imperfection out of your mind can truly make you feel better. With time, if you feel more comfortable about sharing your thoughts and insecurities with a person you trust, open up to a close friend or family member. Last but not least, never forget to celebrate your accomplishments, no matter how small they might be. Celebrating your small wins will help you embrace your true self. I truly believe, as a teenager myself, that these small solutions make a massive impact on my self esteem and gradually reduce the feeling of self doubt. These small yet profound steps made me accept my choices and feel happy with who I am and what I do. In conclusion, self doubt is a common experience in today's presentation like world, but it doesn't have to define us. By limiting exposure to negativity and embracing our authenticity, we can reclaim our self worth. Self doubt will knock on your door. It's inevitable, but it doesn't have to stay for too long. Embrace your flaws, celebrate your journey, and remember no highlight reel or societal expectation can ever define you. Step out into the world remembering these words. The privilege of a lifetime is to become and be who you truly are. Thank you.